Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Commissioner Robert, will you lead us in the flag?
Yes, I will. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have roll call, please.
Commissioner Sangha,
Here.
Commissioner Rhodes,
I'm here.
Commissioner Milas,
Here.
Commissioner Tui Tavuki,
Present.
Commissioner Roostaller.
Here. Are there any actions on requests for continuances or withdrawals?
Yes, thank you. Staff is requesting to continue item number 1 on the agenda to a future meeting to allow the department to coordinate with the sheriff's office for conditions of approval. And then we are also asking to move the special event workshop to a future meeting. Thank you.
Have a motion?
I motion we accept as staff's recommendation.
Second?
I'll second.
Take the vote, please.
Commissioner Rhodes,
Yes.
Commissioner Milas,
Yes.
Commissioner Tui Tavuki,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangha,
Yes.
Commissioner Roostaller.
Yes. Item 1 is moved to another time. Okay, at this time, the public is welcome to address the Planning Commission on items of interest to the public that are not listed on the agenda. Comments to the commission are limited to a maximum of 5 minutes. So this is items that are not on the agenda. Anyone?
Does that include item number 2?
No. It's not, anything that's not on the agenda. Is anybody online? Anybody online who wants to? We're good?
Does anyone wish to speak online?
We're good.
Okay, so at this time, we're going to go to item number 2. Just a quick review of what public hearing procedures are. The staff will do a report and then give us their recommendations. The applicant will then present, and other proponents of the application will then have an opportunity to speak, and then the project opponent will have a chance to speak. And then the applicant will have a rebuttal period, and that's how this works, folks. And then I'll close the public hearing. So I'm going to open the public hearing for item number 2, major subdivision of the Ventana Development Company.
Thank you. I have Associate Planner Lisa Goulart here to offer a presentation.
Thank you and good evening. This project is a major subdivision to subdivide 79 acres zoned rural residential into 54 residential lots. The project site is located on the southeast corner of Lower Sacramento Road and Liberty Road in the northwest corner of the rural community of Collierville. And I'll just point out that the boundaries of Collierville are easy to distinguish in the maps on the screen right now in the general plan and zoning. Collierville is yellow, surrounded by green. Most of Collierville, most of the developed land there is devoted to rural residential use with single-family homes on lots of 1/2 acre or larger. The project site, like the majority of Collierville, has the general plan designation and zoning of rural residential. Near the project site, there is agriculture with scattered residences to the north and west, to the south and east, is the rural residential development of Collierville. A major subdivision with a tentative map also proposing 54 lots was approved in 2006 for the project site, but expired in 2022 before the final map could be recorded. This subdivision proposes 54 residential lots, ranging in size from 1 to 2.5 acres, plus 3 small lots totaling 0.9 acres that are reserved for subdivision utilities, and a 4.8 acre designated remainder. Rural residential development allows on-site services for lots that are 2 or more acres in size. Lots as small as 1 acre can be created if they're served by a public water system and public stormwater drainage system. If these public systems are available, then private on-site septic systems can be utilized. This proposed subdivision can receive public storm drainage from Community Service Area 29. However, there is no public water provider. Therefore, a non-county public water utility must be established, and a public water system must be designed in order for the final map of this subdivision to be recorded. During the processing of this application, CDD received 2 letters of opposition stating concerns about the water system, about building in a flood zone, about the increased traffic, and about access for the subdivision, and about developing over the wetlands. An additional letter was received this week from one of the same party, reiterating concerns about impacts to the wetlands. The applicant's environmental biologist has responded to some of these concerns in a letter that's included in your notes for this evening. All of these concerns were considered during project review, and the proposed conditions of approval address any possible impacts resulting from these issues. As already discussed, the project is conditioned to provide a public water system which will have to conform to the requirements of the County Environmental Health Department and Department of Public Works. To address flooding, all future development will be required to comply with regulations for building in a flood zone. Potential traffic impacts were addressed with the traffic memorandum that analyzed the nearby intersections. The project is conditioned to provide for road widening on the adjacent roadways to mitigate for possible traffic impacts. Lastly, to address the concern about the wetlands, we have amended condition number 1F to require that the riparian habitat wording from the conditions be included on the subdivision final map and to have the condition recorded as a separate instrument. If the project is approved, staff will file a notice of exemption to CEQA, citing Section 15183, which recognizes that when a previous completed environmental impact report has already reviewed for environmental impacts, additional environmental review isn't needed unless there are project-specific significant effects. In this case, in 2014, as part of the general plan update, an environmental impact report was adopted that analyzed the impacts of uses that may be permitted in the rural residential designation. The proposed project is consistent with the general plan RR designation, thus the existing adopted policies of the EIR are appropriate mitigation for this project. This is the same CEQA exemption used recently for the Tracy Temple that was reviewed by the Commission on June 19th. In order for the project to be approved, findings must be made in the affirmative. In addition to the findings for subdivision, the finding that the project is compliant with CEQA Section 15183 exemption must also be made in the affirmative. All findings can be found in the staff report. And it is the recommendation of staff that the findings for subdivision and the finding for CEQA compliance can be made in the affirmative. This is the revised tentative map submitted by the applicant, which depicts the proposed subdivision with the entrance over here off of Lower Sacramento Road, and with the interior circulation road circling around here. The wetlands are depicted up here in a darker wave here, and each lot contains adequate space to develop outside of the wetland area. This photo is taken from the corner of Lower Sacramento Road and Liberty Road, looking at the corner there, which would be the designated remainder, and then beyond that is the rest of the area of the subdivision. It is recommended that the Planning Commission take the recommended actions shown on the slide and included in the staff report to approve the proposed subdivision with the amended conditions of approval. This concludes staff's presentation.
Does anybody have any questions?
We'll leave it up.
I have a question about the wetlands, just so I'm trying to understand. So the lots that are going to be next to the wetlands, they are going to be so many, they're not going to be part of that property, correct? They
Are you-
won't, so the wetlands.
The
and
wetlands will be a part of the lots, yes. It'll be an undevelopable part of the lot.
Okay, so, but will they fence them in, or what?
Well, there's no requirement to fence them in. In fact, the biologist Diane Moore had suggested that fencing would not be recommended for a wetland
It's
area.
about that. Okay.
Yeah, but anything that would require a building permit, of course, they would come in, and if they were trying to develop in that area, our system would tell them that that couldn't be approved.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Go ahead.
I just want to do a follow-up question on what the chairman was saying. Now, there was some comments in there about making sure that people understand that there should be no runoff from any chemicals or pesticides and so forth. How do we even monitor that?
Well, that's a complicated subject that I couldn't answer myself, but the letter from Diane Moore that's included in your packet tonight, she explains it rather well, discussing the history of the lot and what has been there before, and how, in fact, this type of development would not be detrimental to the area. But I'm afraid I can't explain it like she does.
That's okay, no.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it wet year-round? Is that, I mean, because there's no river there, right? It's just kind
It's
of
not what, no, it's more seasonal.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I am actually looking at the letter in the last paragraph. Says, finally, the comments on pets and kids is more than far-reaching. The wetlands will not be adversely impacted by a couple of kids and/or their dogs running around their backfield.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Any questions from staff? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to turn to the proponents of this application for their representatives to come forward and speak.
Good evening. I'm Joe Murphy with Dillon and Murphy in Lodi, California, representing the owners. In attendance tonight is Norm Holberg, one of the owners of Ventana, and Steve Harum for legal advice and support. I think on the line is one of the other owners of Ventana, Franz Schmidt, and Diane Moore should also be on the line for any biology questions. First, I'd like to thank staff for their tireless work on this project. It's been quite a journey and quite a lot of back and forth, but I think we've come with a project that we can all be proud of. This project has been reviewed by 33 public or quasi-public agencies in the course of reviewing the impacts to the surroundings. And actually, it was reviewed twice. This project was approved almost 20 years ago, so they've had two bites of the apple. We were thrilled that any questions that may have been brought up by any of these agencies were addressed by the appropriate study or report, and all of those concerns were incorporated into the tentative map that you're reviewing tonight. We take no exceptions to the proposed conditions of approval. We hope to have your support, and I'd be glad to answer any questions that you may have of me.
Questions?
Oops. So, sir, I had a simple question. Did the people who are opposing this, did they contact you directly? Any opposition was contacted?
Well, I wouldn't say, no, the opposition did not contact me directly. I was more referencing some of the traffic studies and that type of thing. So
Oh, there was any kind of contact with those who are opposing this?
No, everything would have come through the county planning department.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, this time, any other proponents may come forward and speak. And the limit is 5 minutes. All right, well, we will now go to the opponents for this application. Yes, sir, please come forward and state your name and your address for the record. You have 5 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Ernest Goodell. I currently own the 30 acres next to this project. And in fact, Holberg and Schmidt purchased this property from my family. And I'd like to thank all of you for the work that you've done and for allowing me to speak with you this evening. A short history. In 2004, we did this very same drill. Their original application, TMAP application, was approved. In 2022, 18 years later, that tentative map expired. The process was incomplete. It failed to satisfy multiple conditions of approval. Here we are in 2025. It's taken now an additional 3 years to bring this app to the hearing, 21 years after the initial application. We have several issues with this project, first being secondary access. In 2023, I successfully completed development of my 40 acres into 3 separate parcels. My property is adjacent, as I said, to the south. In 2023, in this room, at an appeal hearing, Holberg and Schmidt testified that they were entitled to secondary access through my property. In fact, they stated their property was undevelopable, their word, without it. This commission rejected their argument by a unanimous vote, 5-0 in my favor. Today's application has a single entrance access with an emergency access road added parallel and side by side to the main entrance. San Joaquin County Fire Prevention has reviewed but not approved this solution. There is no secondary access still. Second topic, traffic. Per the staff report, a planned intersection at Highway 99 on the on and off ramps was declared sufficient to handle increased traffic. But there is no mention of the Liberty Road, Lower Sacramento Road intersection, which was shown on the screen. I have reviewed the traffic impact analysis prepared by Advanced Mobility Group, and I've spoken with the owner, Miatech. It is a dazzling piece of artificial intelligence with 75 pages of data and analysis with one glaring omission. That analysis does not recognize the impact of approximately 4,500 vehicles per day, the average daily traffic on Lower Sacramento Road, and 2,000 vehicles on Lower Sacramento Road between Liberty and Speece Road, which is where this development sits. With substantial new local development in Galt and congested traffic on Highway 99, the impact of this project upon local traffic will be enormous and dangerous. At a minimum, that intersection should be a 3-way stop signs or a traffic light. Third topic, wetland intrusion. You saw on the map the lot configuration overlaid over the wetlands. This property has significant wetlands and seasonal flooding. I know, I grew up on the property. The Delta Sierra branch of the Sierra Club in a letter to the group here, which is part of the staff report, said the following. The proposed subdivision map shows lot numbers 16, 17, 18 through 35 intrude into the wetland. They also said the initial study mitigated negative declarations is grossly inadequate. They said the Sierra Club is appalled that the application to subdivide a significant existing wetland to allow rural home construction is being processed by the county staff. If the county allows this deeply flawed application to proceed, we will take all steps available to oppose this illegal action. Now, I'm aware, and you are too, I'm sure, the county general plan goals include the preservation of wetlands, and as a result, the wetland areas will be restricted from development on the final map. Now, this map has been in process for 21 years. Why is the restriction not documented on the T-map? Why wait? Who will enforce the restriction? Why not correct this mistake on the tentative map and guarantee the future compliance with CEQA? Fourth item, the water supply. I want to skip to the fifth item that I have. I see my time is running short. I have in my hand a summons and a lawsuit. This talk would not be complete without addressing an active lawsuit and legal action initiated by my neighbors, Holberg and Schmidt, as they have sued me, their neighbor, with a civil lawsuit, not in San Joaquin County, but their hometown Santa Clara Civil Court. They are demanding that the court force me and, by extension, San Joaquin County to resurrect an expired T-map and to enforce the now expired conditions of approval. Can I plead with the commission to have maybe a minute more to finish? Thank you. This lawsuit is still active. In time, San Joaquin County, currently included as a John Doe 1 to 20, will be added, in my opinion. I urge you to deny and delay any action on this application until such time as the county council has reviewed the legal issues herein and the lawsuit is dismissed. One final comment. This application should have been a slam dunk after 21 years in the pipeline, but it isn't. As submitted, this project appears to be a classic example of urban sprawl with excessive expansion and intrusion into wetlands in a seasonal creek. And it illustrates fully why it's taken 21 years to get to this point. The tentative map application is incomplete and it's inadequate. I urge you to take a deeper look at this project and reject this application as presented. Just say no. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the additional time, Your Chair.
Is there any other opposition to this application? Anybody online? Anyone else in the audience? All right, so at this time, we'll have the applicant come back for their rebuttal.
Joe Murphy again. I'll just touch on a few of the engineering-related issues. As far as the secondary access in the county staff report, it says, and I quote, "The tentative map has been reviewed by the San Joaquin County Fire Prevention for compliance with fire code standards for residential development." So we wouldn't have been brought, this tentative map wouldn't have been brought before you if it hadn't been reviewed as in compliance. As far as traffic, there was a traffic memorandum that addressed any concerns. There are conditions of approval in this packet that require the applicants to contribute to, I think it's 4 intersections in the vicinity to make improvements, and one of them isn't even in San Joaquin County. So it was a pretty broad brush report. It analyzed what his financial or their financial responsibility should be, and that's part of the conditions of approval. As far as the wetlands, the Sierra Club did write a letter a few years back. They've softened that letter considerably. They were glad to hear that conditions of approval were given a little more teeth to put. I think their big concern was how's a buyer of a lot going to know about the wetland issues? Now it's going to be recorded on the map and by separate documents, so it'll show up 2 times in a title report. So a person can't say they weren't aware that part of their backyard is a wetland. But, so those are the three items that I'd like to, that I wanted to respond to.
Is- Okay, then I'm going to bring in, I'm going to close the hearing and bring it back for discussion.
May I?
Yes, please.
So I remember this thing, this particular agenda item coming to us about a couple of years ago, end of '22 or beginning of '23. Couple of us were here at that time. I do have a concern, even though you said that the fire department said it's okay. The reason I'm having this concern is because of an experience in Tracy. I come from Tracy, and I was on the planning commission there for 2 terms. There was a project that was going on from, long story short, it was under the county and the city took over. And it's a nice area, no complaints about that, but it was not meant to be homes. In the last 3 years, actually 2 years, 2023 and 2024, we are still in the summer of '25, we had 2 major fires there. And the fires were so excessive when people were trying to get out of that place, there was only 1 exit and 1 entry. Even though the name's sounding very good for the development, I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus. When it came to the Tracy Planning Commission, the city of Tracy, when I said no to that, the developer, who's also a friend, did not like my way of discussing it. And my main concern is, again, we started with 4,500 homes, we added 2,000 more homes, we added another 2,000 homes, but there was only 1 exit. And then they put another exit, which was barely there, just to say that, hey, you know what, we have another exit, which came up just this past few months ago. So that is a main concern. I'm looking at the map, the way it's drawn. Yes, some work has been done, but the done work does not necessarily depict a very good exit plan. When so many homes are built and there is one major thing, and the way the circle is going through for the exit, many years ago, a couple other projects were done, and when we look at the traffic study, we need to see when was the traffic study done. Sometimes, I'm speaking this from experience, watching it personally, they do the traffic study around 11 o'clock or noon. The traffic study needs to be done in the morning between 7, 8, 9, when there is school time and office time, and in the afternoons. What happens with the congestion of backed up traffic? I'll reserve my right to vote when it comes to time, but those are my main concerns for this project at the moment. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I remember this, because that was the main, that's why you got 5-0, is there wasn't an exit to Liberty Road, right? That was the main contention. So I do remember this. It was a few years, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, something like that. Okay.
Any other commissioner comments?
Through your chair. So the tentative map would include the traffic impact access, the access roads, correct? Right now, there's an access, a single and emergency, correct? I didn't, is that shown on the map? For some reason okay. So there is a single access and emergency access for this development, and it's on the tentative map. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Where's the emergency? Is it on the south?
It's, if I may, it's off of Lower Sacramento Road to the north of the main entrance. Do you see it? Oh, thank you.
Oh,
That's a lot
okay. It still goes to the lower
Okay, so I
sac.
see it. Okay,
Okay.
proposed
Yes, it is.
emergency access road. Okay, so that's on the tentative map, all right. And the gentleman's concern was a secondary access in addition to the emergency access? Is that correct? Or is this emergency access road sufficient to answer that secondary access?
Can I respond?
Yeah, I'd like him to respond.
Sure. Just so you know, the proponent will also have a chance to respond.
Yeah, you first. Go ahead.
We had the same conversation 2 years ago regarding my property.
Okay.
If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you see a stub road that goes to my property. I'm not a part of their project. That stub road goes nowhere. Now, at the appeal hearing, they appealed your decision to approve my project. They appealed that decision, and here in this room, they stated that their project was undevelopable, their word, without secondary access through my property. You voted 5-0 to support me. This emergency road access that is on this map on Lower Sacramento Road, excuse me, as you can see, it runs right parallel with the main single access. It looks like, to me, it was added on Friday night.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Just touch on a couple of things. Traffic memos are done at all hours of the day. They don't, it's not just select hours, so it should account for high impacts and low impacts. I think someone commented on why there isn't access to Liberty Road. We would have to cross a wetland to push a road out to Liberty Road. The emergency access road, as shown, is just that. It's for emergencies. It may never be used in our lifetime. So it's not intended to be everyday circulation. It's in the event of an emergency, and that's why it's there. Like we said, the fire department looked at it, and for emergency access, it's adequate.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any other questions, comments? Okay, so Chair will entertain a motion.
Can we make a motion to deny it, or do we have to read what it says?
Just for point of clarification, you can make a motion to deny this application.
Okay, I'll make a motion to deny this application.
I would request that a reason or
Yes, I was
basis
gonna
for the
ask what
denial
was-
be stated as well.
Yes. We need a reason that you want to deny it.
Oh, okay. My reason, like I stated earlier, and it's like I'm not satisfied with the way the map is set up in the secondary access for fire exit. That's my main concern.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Call for the vote.
Commissioner Sangha?
Yes.
Commissioner Rustaller?
No.
Commissioner Milas?
Yes.
Commissioner Tuitavuki?
No.
Commissioner Rhodes?
Motion fails. So, again, I'll entertain a motion to accept the application. If someone is willing to put it forward, please.
I'll second it.
Actually, you make the motion.
I see. So I'll make the motion to recommend, for the recommendations of staff for the findings of the PA 22-00056, amended conditions of approval and the CEQA compliance.
Do I have a second? All right, Chair, I will second that nomination,
Excuse me, Chair.
or that.
Do we need to add with the modification?
Yeah,
With
for
the
the
condition of
wetlands.
approval modified? Thank you.
Oh,
Do
okay,
you
which
accept
is that?
Okay,
Yes.
and I will second it, which I believe the chair has the right to do.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Rhodes? Yes. Commissioner Tui Tavuki?
Yes.
Commissioner Milas?
No.
Commissioner Sangha?
No.
Commissioner Roostaler?
Yes. Motion carries. And please note that you can't appeal this decision. And if I could find my cheat sheet, I'd tell you what day you have it up to doing, but at this point, they have until, what's the date? August 18th. Thank you, August 18th. Ah, there it is, my cheat sheet. All right, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the election of officers. We're going to be for the appointment of chair and vice chair. Nominations are open.
I will nominate you for the chair.
Yes,
Second that.
I'll second it.
All right, who moved and seconded? All those in favor of, we're going to do them in single motions. All those in favor of letting Chairman Roostaler serve as another year as chair, we'll take a vote.
Commissioner Rhodes?
Yes.
Commissioner Sangha?
Yes.
Commissioner Milas?
Yes.
Commissioner Tui Tavuki?
Yes.
Commissioner Roostaler?
And not to toot my own horn, but yes. Okay, now we'll have nominations for vice chair.
I'll recommend Commissioner Milas. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. For gentleman on your right for vice chair, please.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, call for the vote for vice chair.
Commissioner Roostaler?
Yes.
Commissioner Rhodes?
Yes.
Commissioner Sangha?
Yes.
Commissioner Tui Tavuki?
Yes.
Commissioner Milas?
Yep.
Motion carries.
Yeah,
Congratulations. Other business. And by the way, thank you, everyone.
Let's see. Thanks, Chair. Jennifer Jolly, Director of Community Development. I don't have anything major to report for other business. I will just let you know that the Board of Supervisors will be hearing the Be Well project next Tuesday on August 12th. So if you're interested, you can tune in. The only other thing I would mention is that in light of the 175th anniversary of San Joaquin County becoming a county, the board is asking all the different departments to do a presentation on the history of the department. So we are up on August 12th. We will be doing a presentation. It's actually been really interesting. Worked here for 25 years, and I never took the time to see how this department was established or evolved. So this has been actually a really fun homework assignment. So I can actually do that presentation for you if you want to see it. It's like 10 minutes. But after I do it for the board, we can bring that forward because it's been pretty interesting. So that's it for my report. We can touch on, I'm going to turn it over to Deputy Director Corinne King to talk about future meetings.
Thank you. We have nothing scheduled for August 21st. And then September 4th, we have a variance and a major subdivision. And then we have a conditional use permit for religious assembly in Tracy. And then on September 18th, we have a minor subdivision and a Williamson Act contract cancellation that we'll be bringing forward to you.
Okay, through you, Chair. For the record, I won't be at that meeting on September 18th.
Okay, thank you.
And Chair, I do apologize. I skipped right over planning commissioner comments, so I do apologize for that.
I've got your back because I was going to ask for that. We're good. We're good. So, all right, well, then, no other further business before this commission. I adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Congratulations.